Y ahora seguimos con Diamante Show y vamos a seguir. Señores, hoy me hicieron un cambio radical del romance a la poesía y ahora vamos con humor. Vamos a terminar este show gozando con ella. Ella es Jorja Metz.
Hi, I'm Jorja Metz, and thank you for the false start. I always like to start that way. All right. So I would like to tell you about myself. I live at home. I'm an empty nester, which means I raised 2 productive children. They were out living on their own. They left me home alone. My daughter said, well, you know, Mom, I know you're not good at doing most things, so we're going to get you Alexa. She's going to help out. I said, who's Alexa? Well, she's artificial intelligence. I said, oh, speaking of that, have you spoken to your dad lately? So Alexa is really cool. If I ask her a question, she answers me. And she doesn't say it in a mocking tone. I say, Alexa, what's the weather today? She tells me. She doesn't say, look outside, Mom. Don't you see how sunny it is? Okay, you know, I'm not used to this behavior of someone who has some kind of respect for the owner. So I decided after having my relationship with Alexa, don't tell my kids I cut them out of the will. Alexa's getting everything. She treats me fabulously. If I make a mistake and say, Alexa, would you play It's a Wonderful Life by Ray Charles? She corrects me and say, no, It's a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. But she doesn't make a joke out of it. She doesn't drag on me for the rest of the day because I made a mistake. So I really love Alexa. And the other thing I like to tell everybody that I'm a registered nurse. That's my real job, real nurse. I'm a registered nurse, and I'm also a stand-up comic. So people say, well, how do you get that? You're a comic and you're a nurse. I mean, I don't get the connection. I said, well, it's very easy. The patients have gowns on, and the patrons are dressed. The patrons may be looking like they're stoned because they're in the club. Some of them are sitting up and some of them are laying down. But the patients are generally laying down and they have their pajamas on, so I can always tell. Plus, I'm wearing my uniform when I'm at work. My coworkers, Jorja, how can you get on stage and tell jokes in front of strangers? Are you kidding me? I give enemas to strangers. What do you think nurses do all day? You think it's like on Scrubs? We're all having sex in the linen closet and we're chasing doctors down? No, that only happens when I come on my day off, but that's not what happens. So I said, well, for instance, they say, Jorja, you're taking care of that young man in room 3. He's having a colonoscopy today. Oh, great. I walk in the room. Hi, my name is Jorja. I'm your nurse today. What did the doctor tell you? He said I was having a colonoscopy later. What else did he tell you? He said I was going to be asleep, and then I was going to go home tonight. I said, oh, he left out the most important part, sir. You have to have an enema. What do you mean I have to have an enema? I haven't eaten since yesterday. Believe me when I tell you, sir, there is something lingering around, and I'll have to go get it. So if you're giving an enema to a man you don't know, I think telling jokes on stage is easy. And then my coworkers ask me, oh, not my coworkers, I'm sorry, my friends in stand-up say, wow, do you date your patients? What, are you kidding me? I'm walking down the street the other day and I see this guy and I'm noticing his ass looks a little familiar. And I'm like, I'm not sure what's going on. I walk up to him, I said, sir, excuse me, did you have a colonoscopy last week? He goes, yeah, how do you know? I said, oh, I'm sorry, I do know, but you know what? If I see you on the dating website, please don't hit me up, okay? I don't want to. And I am on the dating website. I'm on many of them, and I'm always lying about something. I don't want them to find me. I don't want the patients to find me. I mean, but as being a nurse and a comic, I love it because being a nurse, I have a lot of power. How many people, how many professions do you know? You could tell a man, take your clothes off. All right, a prostitute will do that, but we know what the ending is going to be. There's no happy ending with me. Sir, take your clothes off. And I don't have to get in bed with the guy. It feels great. It feels great. So being a nurse, I've dated a lot of doctors. I really enjoyed myself. I dated an anesthesiologist, but we had to break up because when I told him I didn't feel anything when we were together, it didn't work out for me. I dated a dermatologist, but he was always getting under my skin. Get the hell out of here. But the best was the psychiatrist. He was great. We had like some really fun times. Then I found out he was a sex addiction specialist. I said, well, I see you listen to all the fantasies that your clients told you about, and we were having a great time on that leather couch in the office. I mean, it was worn out, but for good reason. I had to break up with him because my coworkers started spreading a rumor that I was seeing the psychiatrist. I said, yes, I am seeing the psychiatrist. We're dating. Yeah, sure, George. You know what's going to happen at your next peer review? We're going to have to say that you're not stable and you can't work here anymore. So I had to break up with the psychiatrist. It's not fair. But the other good thing about being a nurse is they have great benefits. Every year, HR would ask me if I want to renew my benefit. Last year, they called and said, Georgia, do you want to renew your death and dismemberment policy? I said, no, that's okay. I got divorced. I don't need it. Yes, and so, dating online, like I said, I do. I dated on a site called conjugalvisits.com. That was the best. I dated 2 guys on death row. Why, do you ask? Well, I heard that survivor's guilt sex was really awesome. So, that was and the bus schedule was available to me by Westchester County, and they gave me a discount on the bus pass. So who could ask for a better deal than that? Anyway, but I have been on dating websites long before COVID, as a matter of fact. I remember going on a site where I don't want to mention it. It was really like one of those kind of, you don't give your real name. I met a guy on that site, and he had to introduce him by his username. Hi, everybody. This is my boyfriend, Ginormous. That's what it goes by. I'm not going to tell you whether or not it's true, and it doesn't matter. Like men always say, it's not the size of the ship, it's the motion in the ocean. I'm like, oh yeah, let me get a Dramamine because I'm sure I'm going to be in a float shooting up and down a tsunami, and most of it is my business. Men make me laugh. I have to put up with a lot of crap about men. Don't get me going. They're okay. They have their purpose in life. Okay. So I wanted to say also, I was at a tiki bar last month when I was in Florida, and I had sex on the beach. It was great. It was the first time I didn't have to wipe the sand out of my crotch after a week. Finally. On the way here, I was driving down the street, and I saw a Mr. Softy truck. I said, it takes a strong man to drive a Mr. Softy truck, don't you think? And I wanted to say one more thing about having no children at home with me. They don't call me to see how I'm doing. I said, I feel like I should be doing a commercial for Life Alert. If I fall down the stairs, nobody's going to call to see how I'm doing because they don't know what I'm doing. They don't bother to call me. So I got a puppy. My daughter calls every morning. My son calls every afternoon. Mom, how's Brutus? Send us a picture of him. I have to get the attention somehow. One day, I didn't answer the phone. They rushed over to the house and used their emergency key to come in. Mom, what happened? What happened to Brutus? He's fine, kids. Thanks anyway. Alexa took care of it for me, okay? No problem. So I just want to say that I'm doing a lot of stand-up, and I'm doing a lot of nursing. I just did a nursing show called Out of Uniform for Nurses Week last year, because I am always going to be a nurse, even if I'm not currently employed in a hospital setting. But I am always looking to make nurses feel good about what they do. And I also do stand-up comedy to talk about life when you're not a nurse. You have to make life funny. I have to do something to keep myself up, as one would say. I like to tell everybody that I have a Facebook page, Jorja, Jorja. Well, that's another set too. I didn't talk about that. But it's Jorja, RN is my Facebook page. If you want to see any jokes that I post up there. I also have a YouTube channel, Jorja with 2 J's, because that spelling is so unique that people tend to look for Georgia with the 2 G's. But my mother was apparently the first comedian in a family. Naming your kid George with 2 J's, I've been spent 50 years explaining myself. How do you get a spelling like that? What does that name mean? So you think I was going to do that to my kids? My kids have 2 perfectly ordinary names. No one's ever going to question who they are, where they came from. My son's first name is Broken Rubber, and my daughter's name is Tequila Sunrise, okay? That's them. That's who they are. That's how they got here. I don't want to explain anything. But I do know a lot of women don't know who the father is. Imagine having such a sex life that you can't figure out who the father is. This one kid's name is Robert Anthony Michael. I said, what kind of name is that? She said, I don't know who the father is. So I wanted to include all three of the possibilities. I said, I guess you're right. I mean, I guess I do the same thing. I mean, what kind of sex life was that? I mean, I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I wasn't entitled to such a thing. But now that I'm divorced, been there, done that, now it's like, oh, you're going to have sex on the first date? You damn well I'm going to have sex on the first date and dinner, and we're going to go to a movie, and then mark it off for that month bucket list. I did it. Yay! Because you have your priorities once you're divorced and over 50. You know what the secret of life is. What are you waiting for? By the time you have it, you're on so much medication, you can't even do anything. You know, it's like being in the Special Olympics having sex at my age. I can't take it. You feel me? Yeah, let me feel me. The doctor would say to me, here's my doctor. My gynecologist would say, Jorja, do you do a breast exam every month? Yeah, every time I'm looking for a pen at work. What the fuck is that? I'm checking this too while I'm at it anyway. So, you know, I try to get a break. I ask the doctors questions. I don't want to go to the office. Doc, come to the office. Oh, damn it. I said, you know, I know you need the copay, but you know me 20 years. Can't you just answer the question? Same thing happens to me as a nurse now. My neighbors know I'm a nurse. They ring the bell. Jorja, but call the doctor. I have to carry malpractice insurance seriously, and I can't give any advice. So when I go to the hypochondriacs convention, I have to double my malpractice insurance. Now, if I don't make it as a comic, I go right out in the lobby. In fact, people right here, if you have any questions, I have my blood pressure kit in the car. I'll take your blood pressure, your vital signs, and I'll make a recommendation. It's a $5 copay. I take cash only. So really, I mean, what are you going to do? I'm always going to be able to do something. I currently work in a doctor's office because I left that job in the intensive care unit. You know what it's like telling a joke to a person in a coma? It screwed up my timing terribly. I've been taking 6 months to figure that one out. But the only time a patient will wake up from a joke is on Grey's Anatomy. You know, that's unrealistic in General Hospital. But that's really what I've been doing, working in an intensive care unit for 25 years. And one time I was in the room, the patient was in a coma. All right, he got better. The family was there. So I'm joking with the family, joking with the wife, and the doctor comes across the corridor and he goes in like this. Jorja, what do you think this is, a comedy club? What's all this laughing going on in here? I stepped out of the room with him. Excuse me, doctor. Don't you know laughter is the best medicine? No copay. They get endorphins. Everybody's laughing. The pulmonary function tests are going up. And I'm working on lunch with these people, so don't involve. Get out of the way. I can get a free lunch. If I tell them I'm Italian, I don't speak Italian. But if I say an Italian word like mangia, immediately I'm taking under the wing and they're buying me espresso and cookies at lunchtime. Because you have to know how to work the families. I don't get lunch. I was in the hospital without a union. You want lunch? Go home and have dinner. I mean, that's just the way it was. So when they talk about hard work that nurses do, we do a lot of hard work. And it's fun to be able to laugh at what we do because you have to laugh at something. And you can't laugh at the patients. You have to go out. So sorry, sir, there's a phone call for me. There you go. Yeah, try to be nice about it. But being a nurse for 25 years in the hospital has left me with no clothes in my closet. Well, think about it. 12 years of grammar school, 12 years of Catholic school in uniform. Nursing school in uniform. Nurse in uniform. When I finished nursing, I said, what am I, Amish? I got 3 outfits in the closet and all this cash. I have to go shopping all the time with my kids. They don't want to come with me, so I have to ask Alexa, what's the fashion trend this week? Because I don't know how to buy clothes. I don't know, honest to God. I mean, look at this outfit. This is my Easter outfit. I'm wearing this on Palm Sunday. I wore it today, and I'll probably wear it on the next date I go on. Oh, not conjugal visits. I'm not going to wear this to conjugal visits because I want something that just, you only have an hour in the private room. You just get something. You pull the zipper down. You're done. Nobody's watching you. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows why I walk around with a smile on my face. What happened? Oh, I don't know what this means. Is this an Italian saying? Oh, are we doing? Well, I'm wrapping it up. Let me check. All right. So, like I said, my name is Jorja Metz. I am on Facebook, Jorja RN. I have a YouTube channel, Jorja with 2 J's, and whatever I do, I have to upload it. So I have to ask Alexa how to do that because no one told me anything. They just left me alone with Alexa, but she's taking care of everything for me. I really like her. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put her in the will. She's going to get a third. Jessica gets a third. Rob gets a third. That's how it's going to be. thank you very much for letting me part of your afternoon. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the laugh.
You're welcome. They're free. All right.
Awesome. This
Was
big
I
muffin.
nervous? Don't talk in a mile a minute. Because I'm Italian. No, thank you so much. I'm appreciative to have the opportunity to do anything here. Thank you. You were glad. You guys were glad. She was glad. Thank you. Thank you, sir.